It is the RIOT. No doubt the most important thing that will come up in today's show is the new monitor.
You're going to hear about it.
You know, we talked about it a few times. I didn't put all of it in there.
Did you put the ending ones?
Well, the important ones.
The more passionate talk about it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it took me a while to finally build up to what I really wanted to say. And I said it.
So Obi got a new monitor in the studio, so you'll hear that reference.
It's not really that Obi got a new one. RadioU purchased a new monitor.
But it's for your side where only you sit.
The B side of the studio. And I'm excited about it because normally the way things work is... I'll be like, hey, could I get a new monitor? And they'll be like, yeah, we're just going to duct tape a monitor on the one that you have.
That's not what would happen. What would happen is you would ask for it. It would end up over on this side.
Right.
And you would never get anything. But the
too.
idea would have come up that it would have been over on this side.
You know, I want to, Eric, just what is it that you have to say? Tell me.
No, the actual, hey, everyone, I'm Eric.
It's a podcast. This is the intro.
Actually, it would be Michael gets a new monitor and you get his old one.
That's another thing that happens. And it all, to me, famously culminates in the fact that I needed a dock for my laptop.
Oh, that's me in this one.
I received a napkin holder to put my monitor in. And that napkin holder, I believe, came from the break room.
It was the clearance section. I think he found it at like Target.
I got a napkin holder. Nikki needed a dock, and she was consulted, and a new dock was purchased. An actual dock. By a computer company. Whereas mine came from the picnic section in clearance at Target.
You know, you were the first one to switch to an all laptop, and so you unfortunately were the one that had to feel all that out. By the time I got in there,
that's not the way it worked.
It was, we were more willing to do stuff with it.
It's just that when Obadiah needs something at RadioU, it's typically... Well, we can't spend any money on him.
But that's not the case this time. You finally got it.
This time, I got the monitor, and everybody's response has been,
"It's too big." So we're not taking it away.
That's what I told Chris. I was like, "Look, it's too late.
Now
if you didn't want me to have it, you shouldn't have given it to me."
We didn't just talk about monitors, believe it or not, in the podcast.
No, but as you can see, you guys see where it touches like a real deep, unhealed wound.
Oh yeah, there's some layers under this.
Yeah. I got to get it out. So other things in the podcast today, we talk about Robin Williams, Alex Trebek, Amazon Prime Day.
The robots, too?
Oh, yeah.
Did you put that in there from Amazon?
You know what? I didn't. Would you like me to?
If you want to.
Okay. We talk about free Netflix, I said Alex Trebek, Amazon Prime Day. Did I say that too?
Yeah.
There's a bunch. New York and New Jersey. Stealing TVs.
There's a lot in here.
Zombies.
We hope you enjoyed the podcast today, but I have a feeling you'll enjoy the monitor stuff the most.
Well, it's the most important.
So feel free to text us. Say hello, 877-2-RADIO-U. Put that you're a podcast listener like we like to remind you, so then we'll see it when we come in for the next morning for the show.
Got anything else?
Thanks for listening.
Okay, bye, everybody.
Bye, Monitor. Have a good day in the studio. We'll miss you. You should take it home with you every day in your bag.
Don't tempt me.
Don't think I won't.
It's the RIOT.
One day, a heroic time traveler will go back in time to make sure none of this ever happens. Until then, it's the worst of the RIOT on Radio U.
Hey, guys.
So that's what Zobi doing.
Oh.
We have bagels again, finally. We have bagels.
Nikki's mom buys these bagels. They say they come from New York.
You don't know.
I don't know.
It could just be like that's the style of bagel, but I think they do.
It says it comes from New York, and I just want you to know it's so good.
We're not sure. You know how like they say that New York style pizza is really good because it's the water, and then Chicago style pizza, like the crust is really good technically because of the water in the area. It's just something that they say. I think these bagels are so good because of maybe the water.
Well, I don't.
So whatever's going on, it's the water.
If you look at the bag, it says made with real Bronx water or something like that.
It must be a part of the process that's necessary because those things are amazing. And we got another bag in.
And I'll tell you this right now, that I've been saving something for a special occasion.
What'd you got? Oh.
You know how somebody like ages a wine or a scotch or like whatever? I've been hanging on to this Mountain Dew for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's just been sitting there.
I want you to look at your morning. You got a new monitor to use here at work. You're having a Mountain Dew. You're having a bagel.
I know. Well, that's
Is there butter on the bagel?
Yeah.
You got everything.
That's why I cracked open this Mountain Dew. I was like, look, sometimes you just have to celebrate.
Yeah.
And we're celebrating with a nice drink. This brand new monitor and these bagels. And, you know, again, I took a bite of the bagel and I was like, oh, Nikki. Oh.
I don't know if the day can get any better. You might actually be at the top of the day.
No way. No way. But don't limit it. Don't limit it.
I don't know if it's possible because what you've got going on there seems like just the perfect combination.
Well, you're right about that. Something great is going on right now. Something great is going on right now.
So if you ever see a bagel and they're like, oh, it's a New York style bagel, you should try it.
Oh, it's good. It's good.
What's worse than the worst of the riot? The worst of the riot podcast. Yeah, you did this to yourself. Podcast. Riot. RadioU.
You know, I just want to say to all of us, whether we work retail or food prep or not, like let's not spit in each other's food.
Spit in each other's food?
Can we not do that? Like, can we say that we're not gonna do that?
Did someone do that?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it definitely happened. I mean, allegedly, of course, Nikki. But it turns out that there is a guy in, let's see, where is this? Westwood in California, where he allegedly spit in a police officer's cup of coffee.
That's even worse, because what do they call that then? It's
assault.
It's a bigger offense than if you just, like, say, spit in my coffee.
Uh-huh. And, I didn't even think about it like this. Under the current COVID threat, and this is a quote from Park Ridge Police Captain Joseph Rampolla. He says, under the current COVID threat, it's extremely disturbing that someone would intentionally spit in your drink. So,
No, that's been a thing. When people get real nasty, like they'll cough in your face.
Yeah, or spit on you.
Or spit on you. So, because of the COVID thing, they want to think that they got you sick.
Yeah. Which, I mean, you could... You're escalating the game, Nikki. That's what's happening. We're escalating the game.
So no spitting in food.
Yeah. So a spokesperson for Starbucks was just like, oh, that's the worst. That is the worst.
Is that really what they said?
No, that's not really what they said.
Is that paraphrasing?
They said, we will continue to support Park Ridge Police in their investigation and have a deep respect for the Park Ridge Police Department and the officers who help keep our partners and communities safe. That's what they actually said. But what I heard was, that is the worst.
Okay, thanks for taking that.
That is the worst.
Out of that.
Yeah, so...
Let's not do that. That's not good.
The police say, we think it's an isolated act. We think it was just this one guy. We don't think it's a statement.
Sure.
That's me paraphrasing again.
I don't know. When you read about this, you just wonder throughout your entire history of going into different places, how many times has something actually been put in your food or spit in your food, even if you're just, walking in, no like conflict, no nothing.
Yeah.
Just people just do that.
The amount of things that you and I, as people, have no doubt consumed over the years
without knowing
in the industrial food process
would shock us
is on the one hand terrifying, but on the other it's comforting because look how resilient we all are.
Apparently it makes you stronger.
Look how we've all made it.
And that's not just like spitting and stuff. I think that counts with like the bugs that get in our food that we have no idea.
Oh, sure.
Because you look down and you're like, what's that? You don't know that had 5 other friends and you ate them all.
Oh, you did.
So we are stronger.
Oh, yeah.
Because of all that.
Oh, yeah.
The Riot. They're kind of a big deal.
Hey, can we do that again? Maybe a little more energy?
No. RadioU.
Nikki, it's time for us to have a little chat.
Remember, anytime something gets postponed, we're still trying to feel out the music or if there's something else.
I kind of like it.
You're pretty committed to this?
Yeah, because it feels like, hey, we were having fun, but we're slowing it down.
And something's canceled or postponed again. So it's a new segment that has its own music now.
So here we go.
That makes it official.
Amazon has just announced that Prime Day.
Yeah,
it's we're going to need to postpone that.
Oh, they are?
To later this year.
I think I forgot about it.
Well, it usually happens in July, right?
I thought, well...
You know what? Every year on Prime Day, I've bought a movie because they usually have a sale that's good enough where I'm like, yeah, it's good enough. I'll take it. $12, $15, I'll buy something. But this year, because of how the COVID-19 pandemic is affecting operations worldwide.
See, this isn't because they don't think you'd buy stuff on Prime Day. It's just they're having such a hard time shipping because we are already buying so much stuff.
I was going to say the problem is business is too good.
It's too busy. So therefore, they don't have the ability to then turn around the stuff as fast as they're supposed to.
So they're postponing it. However, that's for everybody else. In India, Prime Day, they have a date, which will be August 6th and 7th.
But that's just India, and then we'll get our own eventually?
Keeping in mind that India is like, 1/5 or 1/6 of the world's population?
Sure.
There's a lot of the world in India.
If you've ever seen Amazon's infrastructure there, it's massive, and they had to do a lot of specialty stuff, and it's something. It's its own machine.
Right. Well, that's the thing. So that's going to be happening, but here in the United States, nah.
No Prime Day. Well, let me change my calendar reminder. Didn't have one.
Me either. But, hey, listen, we just shopped it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, we wouldn't have waited for it, if that makes sense.
Anticipated it?
Yeah, anticipated it, been excited. It just would have been, it's the Prime Day.
I don't know, Nikki. I mean, today's been a real exception, but not really a lot going on.
No, and what movies, what are you looking for? There isn't anything left, is there?
Not really, because this year, the thing I have done this year that I haven't done in previous years, as movies come out, I've just been buying them.
Sure, and there's not any more. We're running out of new stuff, guys.
It's true. It's time to dip into that back catalog, y'all.
We've got an archive of everything stupid the Riot has ever said at your fingertips. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
Nikki, the answer is... Wait, no, that's not how you do it. What is...
No, for the Jeopardy thing?
No! Wait! Finally! Had to wait for the hard drive to spin up. What is Alex Trebek's 80th birthday?
Oh, is it today?
It's today, Nikki.
So does that mean his book came out? Was it yesterday then, probably?
Listen, you're getting a blitz of Alex Trebek, okay? Dude released a statement about his cancer treatment, which, and I'm not saying this in a bad way, I'm sure was tied to his book release.
Well, it was all while he was doing press for his book stuff.
So his book is out. It's his 80th birthday, and this week Jeopardy is running classic, and I use air quotes for that, classic Jeopardy reruns.
Some older episodes then?
So Monday night, for example, it was the first time Trebek had ever hosted Jeopardy.
Wow, that would have been really old.
They had a huge ratings bump.
Really?
Because you know what? If I had thought about it, I would have watched that. That would have been interesting.
We're just 3 days in, and now we don't really watch anything around the Jeopardy time. So, we wouldn't have ever seen anything.
No.
Detail-wise about a special week.
But if you're hopping online and you see a lot of Trebek stuff, this is why. So if you want to get that, get a little Trebek in your life, there's books.
Now you have a book.
There's TV shows. There's undoubtedly interviews.
And they're still filling space up because Jeopardy, though he said he's ready and would like to come back to filming, I don't think they started filming anything new. So they're still filling time up with older episodes.
Yeah, I mean, even if they went back to filming tomorrow, it would be weeks before you would see a new Jeopardy episode.
Sure.
Though you have to ask yourself, how much post-production work does Jeopardy require?
The turnaround time?
Yeah. Are they're probably live switching those cameras?
I think I remember it being a 6-month turnaround for when they film episodes and when it actually airs. But that's not a push. That's not an emergency.
Right.
That's just a typical TV sort of schedule. But I don't know. I'm sure they could do it faster if needed.
I mean, Nikki, with a name like Jeopardy, maybe they need to learn to push a little bit.
Push a little harder. Well,
like
it is
something's
technically
wrong.
It is summertime, so technically a lot of those shows
are on hiatus.
Anyways, it's just different this summer because the hiatus started back during the quarantine, so they've had to go longer than normal.
Well, there's your heads up as to why you're seeing Alex Trebek and Jeopardy everywhere.
Yeah.
Big push for Trebek stuff this week. Makes me want to go watch Celebrity Jeopardy. On YouTube, of course.
Of course. Read the book, maybe?
Probably not.
I know. It'd be interesting maybe to read.
You know what? I'll bet it's a fascinating read. Because, I mean, again, Nikki and I are not game show hosts, but I'm always interested when somebody has the kind of job that is a creative job, but they have to do it over and over and over again every single day.
Interesting to take a look at how he does that.
Exactly. Like the idea of hosting a daily thing. How does he deal with that and the stress of it and stuff? I'd be curious to see that.
The Riot with Obadiah and Nikki on RadioU.
I also want to say happy birthday to Jerome.
Yay! Happy birthday.
Who's on hold talking to Nikki right now. So you'll just have...
I'll be right back.
He's waiting. Nikki and I, usually when the music's playing, we're watching a Fast and Furious movie, but this time we'll get on the phone.
Did you see that was interesting?
I did think that was interesting. I feel like I've heard this story before, but I'm not sure.
I never have.
So this is something you might not know. Justin Lin, he was the director of basically all the Fast and Furious movies you really love. But what you might not know is that his first Fast and Furious movie was actually Tokyo Drift. So he did that one, which is funny because I actually think that's pretty good. Now, it's not the best.
Out of the franchise, you mean?
No, but it's pretty good. It's different. I think it's fun the way it's set in Japan. It's got like a different cast of characters and stuff. But this article that we're reading, an interview with him in which... like for the set, apparently Japan is not very friendly to foreigners coming to shoot films there.
It's just hard to film there, period. But then if you add that you're not a local director, it's even harder.
So apparently, and I don't know the story behind this, but I'm going to be reading up on it. They filmed the James Bond movie You Only Live Twice in Japan. And I mean, I don't know if they didn't like the way it was filmed or what, but they heavily regulated people from other countries coming in and filming after that movie.
Oh, wow. I didn't see that part yet.
I don't know what happened with that movie, but something that led to a bunch of laws and rules and regulations being passed. And so they're filming in Japan, Tokyo Drift, and they were filming in Shibuya, which is a really big tourist attraction.
So imagine Japan's hard to film in. This area is even harder to film in.
And they had a guy on set whose job it was that if the police came to arrest anybody, it was his job to pretend that he was the director and get arrested for him.
So he was a local guy, and then he would get in trouble.
So
and that was through Universal.
Yeah, the director, Justin Lin, he didn't even know that. Like the company just set that up for him. And so this guy, the police show up, and this guy that he'd never seen is like, yeah, I'm the director. It's me. I'm Justin Lin.
So he had to go spend the night in jail because when they were shooting in such a high-profile area, they eventually got kicked out, and that's when the fall guy got arrested.
It's crazy.
I thought that was really fascinating. That's if you like movie sort of trivia, news stuff, like that was interesting to learn about.
Nikki and I don't normally talk about or read about movies, but that was a really interesting one.
Really? It's our first time we never talk about movie stuff.
Maybe we should look into stuff like this more often.
We should.
Like these little anecdotes and stuff, really fascinating.
That is interesting. So
look at that.
That was just something, and it makes you wonder what they have to do to do international filming. In other places, They'll do what it needs. They'll do what needs to happen to get it done. So I'm not surprised.
Imagine being so important to anything that they have somebody standing by to get arrested for you.
Well, they said that Universal was willing to take a chance on the guy who was filming Tokyo Drift. And even though he was a new director, he also, not only was he not local to Japan, but he was just such a new director. It's not like he had a lot of prestige to help him if he fell into trouble with law enforcement. So he didn't have a name to really keep him safe, too. So they had to have a fall guy.
Now, he is, that's not the case anymore. If he showed up somewhere,
You think so? Yeah, I guess.
He has. Do you know how many movies he has directed that have made over $1 billion?
Really? Which other ones has he done?
Every Fast and Furious movie except the last one.
That is true, I guess. Justin Lin.
That guy.
Outside of Fast and Furious, I wasn't sure what else he was doing.
He did direct Star Trek Beyond, which did not do as well.
We don't talk about that one.
But I don't think that was his fault. But we can get into that another time. Are you saying
there's another fall guy?
Yeah, I feel like there's somebody else around that is there to take the blame.
We're supposed to blame.
Obadiah and Nikki tried their hardest, and that's what really matters. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
All right, Nikki.
Yeah.
Here's where we are. We have bagels from New York.
Well, that's what we have them for breakfast this morning.
So excited about them. So we're able to get bagels from New York, but I'll tell you what, bagels, New York's not able to get us because they have a travel ban. I did not know this.
Yeah, they started that.
They have a travel quarantine, but yeah, it's not like on a couple of states. 31 states are not welcome.
So if
in
you
New
go
York
in
and New Jersey.
Don't you have to quarantine, or are you even allowed?
14 days.
Sure.
So let's say right now you're like, man, I am so going to New York. Sure you are. But you're going to have to plan for that 1 week vacation. It has to be 3 because you got to do 2 weeks in quarantine.
Now, do you have to sign something? Or if it's like if you go to a hotel, you're checking in, they know where you're from? Or how does that get found out?
You know what? It definitely is one of those things where you're like, wow. You know, would you get caught? Like, are there people at the state border? Probably not. But you have to wonder. Like,
no, they do. Like in Florida, they have checkpoints. They have things where you pull over and you...
Do you really?
Yeah, they have things where you have to get monitored or whatever. They take truck... what are they? The truck weighing stations. They have those that they use for people traveling.
And you got to stop in? Mm-hmm. Got to declare?
Yeah.
Whether you're okay or not?
And no offense to, I think that's fine, but New York City and New York stuff is so bad as well that needs to go the other way, too. Like, if you're from there and you go out, you got to also do it. Basically, if you're traveling, you should really consider that 14-day extra quarantine thing that you're really supposed to be doing.
Maybe they are. Like, I haven't looked at what states are saying no to the arrival of New Yorkers.
But it's up on you to do. You know, just as a heads up, it's not maybe something that they will stop you for, but you should think about if you're really traveling.
Well, depending on where you listen to RadioU, you could be okay. For example, if you're listening to RadioU in Michigan, you can.
You can without the 14 days?
Yeah, in Ohio, no. California, no. Oklahoma, no. Everywhere else, no. No, it would be faster to tell you the states that can visit New York than the states that can't.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like, West Virginia can, but Virginia can't.
Sure.
At least according to this right here.
Well, we didn't want to go anyways. I don't want to go anywhere.
Well, I kind of wanted to go.
Because they're saying no, or you have to wait?
I went to New York 2 summers ago. It was fun. Mm-hmm. I had a good time, Nikki.
I know, but there's issues there.
Yeah. Oh, so many issues. So many, and you know what?
With traveling.
Oh, yeah.
With traveling issues.
Broadway's closed down, so I mean,
yeah.
That was what I went to New York for, was to catch, a couple of shows.
Well, like we said, wherever you're at, it's all different rules, but you just want to be a little extra safe. What's the harm in that?
Me getting mad.
Giving every novelty food the publicity it so blatantly desires. It's The Riot on RadioU.
So people are angry, right? About a lot of things. And I just want you to know, I want to draw a line between like stupid online anger and like actual real anger in person.
Sure. You're not talking about the online stuff.
There is stupid online anger, and I see it. And sometimes our real life anger spills out in that way. But then there's also that, hey, we're just stirring the pot over here. We're just trying to make people more and more mad. But, this whole wearing a mask in public, I have been genuinely surprised by the strong reactions of people. I have people in my circle that some of them I've talked to and some of them I haven't. I've just kind of heard like, oh, they were this. Like they were asked to wear a mask and they got angry and like didn't go.
Well, we're even talking about people that, you'll carry coffee around, or you'll be eating something
just so
you can keep your mask technically pulled down, and you know what you're doing. You're not wearing the mask. You don't want to, so that's your way around it.
Then I saw somebody else who went to an event and they left in the middle angry because not enough people were wearing a mask. And so like they were mad about it like that. And I've had a hard time understanding the anger. But yesterday, something happened that made me really angry. But if I explained it to you, you would no doubt find yourself in the same situation that I am in, where you'd be like, why does that make you mad? Like, why do you even care about that? So what? But I was fuming.
Heated?
I didn't like lose my mind, but it made me angry. I mean, like angry enough to where if I allowed myself, I would have had things to say. And then yesterday I ran into this ancient proverb. Here's what it says. A fool gives full vent to his anger, but a wise man quietly holds it back. Now, you can argue with the guy who wrote that, I suppose. But that's the thing that I have been thinking about, is that most of us think in terms of like, hey, I'm angry and I'm just going to unleash it. Mm-hmm. And yet this ancient proverb says, a wise man holds it back. I saw a different way it's translated from another language. It says, a wise man quietly mulls it over. And I was like,
before reaction?
Think about that. What if you had to quietly think about it before you reacted? And so that idea of, I don't think there's anything wrong with being angry. And my friends who are literally on complete opposite sides of this debate over masks, which again, I'm just like, is this what we're fighting over? But see, that goes to show that I'm not understanding the feelings of those involved. And so I'm looking for my own angry feelings and trying to understand. I'm trying to understand it all. And I guess I look at it and I see that while I didn't get angry about those things, I've been getting angry about this. And I feel like it works for all of us. I think most of us are angry, but I feel like there's a lot of wisdom here in the idea of like, okay, we're angry. Let's not just start venting our anger like fools, but let's be wise and let's think about it. Let's process it. It doesn't mean not to be angry, but I feel like there's a way that you can be constructive with your anger rather than letting it be destructive. And that will take, at least for, this is what I think it's going to take effort. I think anger is naturally destructive. It takes effort from us to go, well, I'm very angry about this. Yes, I am.
I'm slowing down.
You know what? I'm going to need to take a break before we talk about this.
You'll think, what was the thing Obi said?
I'm so mad. It's not a good idea to talk right now.
Come back to me.
I'll come back and talk to you a little later if you don't mind.
The worst podcast with the best listeners. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Yesterday, President Trump, in his first press briefing back, said that it was going to get worse before it gets better. Maybe he was referring to the earthquake that hit off the coast of Alaska last night. I don't think so, and I shouldn't be making jokes.
Well, that had triggered a tsunami warning, which they're saying is now over.
Mm-hmm. And the NFL Players Association has agreed to eliminate the preseason. So if you've been looking for football, you're going to have to wait a little bit longer. In the meantime, you could watch 83 years of Netflix.
83 years?
Netflix made an announcement last night. They've got that new movie, The Old Guard.
Is that the Charlize Theron one? Yes.
It is, yes. Well, they have released a game for it. It plays in a browser window. So that means pretty much if you have access to the internet, you're good. The person who gets the top score in the world on this browser game will win 1,000 months of Netflix.
All right.
Sorry.
You okay there?
No.
So if you want to find out more details on it, you can check on online to see if you want to participate by playing this game. And yeah, you get 83 years of the game.
Jeez, what?
It hit you.
It just, where did it come from?
It took over.
All
so
right.
that's for the new movie from her.
I'm trying to play it, but it won't let me play it.
The video game itself?
Yeah, but man, I thought 1,000 months a night. You know what? I don't want to be dark about this, but you'll probably be dead.
Well, yeah, but does it transfer or is it really just you? It probably doesn't transfer.
You know what? I would think I'm not going to give my...
Is that the game?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll tell you what. I'd already rather just pay for Netflix. That's...
Maybe everybody else will give up and you can get the highest score.
Maybe. Yep. I'd rather just pay. Like this.
I insist.
It's fine. You don't worry about it.
They say that's a savings of $13,000 if you got the standard Netflix plan for 1,000 months.
I'm gonna need the 4K because they put all that work into filming. Andy is the leader of the Immortal group. Okay, they're teaching me. I'm learning about it.
You just want to close out, or are you gonna keep playing?
I'm just gonna go ahead and.
Let someone else have this?
Trust me. You spend a minute or two playing the old guard video game and you'll be like, you know what? You guys go ahead.
If whoever's trying to actually win this competition out of the world and get the highest score, you deserve it.
Just take it.
You are welcome to have the 1,000 months free of Netflix.
It's meant for you. It really is.
It's an interesting idea, though.
It's a great idea.
A way to think outside the box. They said that movie should be getting a second one.
Yeah, because apparently it's very popular. Wow.
You're listening to The Riot. Let's all work together today to live life with the patience of a Nikki dealing with an Obadiah.
Gotta hang in there and get through it.
You're listening to The Riot.
In these trying times, many of us are just staying home. But the thing is, when you stay home, you begin to realize some of the limitations that you find in your living space.
So back in the stimulus check time, a lot went to TVs, they say, to where a lot of major retailers were kind of out of TVs that you could physically buy in person.
I'll tell you, it made me rethink that. I only have a 65-inch TV when there are 82-inch TVs available.
You could
just
have
right
something
there
else
on the shelf. Just right there. Just take it.
But, like for me, I would like a new TV, but I go back and forth because I barely use the thing. But then you see some of the big ones and, man, the picture looks so nice.
Over the last couple of weeks, I've been watching a lot of movies, and I have been watching them on the TV that
compared
I bought.
to otherwise you watch, on your phone or your tablet.
Yeah, so not as much even streaming stuff. I've been like, hey, I have these 4K Blu-rays. Let's put them in and watch this. Like, spent the money.
Your theater.
Let's enjoy it. And you know what? I have really been enjoying doing that. Now, that being said, Nikki, not everybody has a 65-inch TV to work off of. And
what do you do then?
What do you do?
Well,
Nikki?
Some might go and buy the 65-inch TV, but then there's something else people do.
Or you could just go to Walmart and just grab one. Just get one, put it in a cart, and walk out. I love this so much. I love it because it's so big. That's the part about it that I think is hilarious.
It's just hanging over the cart.
You're trying to steal a 65-inch TV. You probably could have gotten away with a 37-inch because it wouldn't have. I feel like it wouldn't have attracted as much attention.
It's true.
So big and you have it in a cart that is obviously not how they would have sold it to you.
Because otherwise, they check receipts a lot of times for the bigger ticket items. They're supposed to make sure. But this was in Florida, about 40 miles outside of Tampa.
Hey, I got checked. My receipt got checked at a Walmart. Just the other day.
Just random?
I was walking out with just a one blue Walmart bag. That's all I had. And they wanted to see my receipt.
You look suspicious.
You know what? I was just like, whatever. How you doing?
Well, they try to stop people. But basically, the sheriff's office has posted footage on Facebook of this lady pushing her cart to try to get out of Walmart with this TV. She tried to steal it. And so they're trying to locate who she is. So they're hoping that someone will tell on her.
Here's my question. Okay, this lady puts this TV in this cart, and she does try to steal it. She rolls it all the way out to the door where security says, hey, I need to see a receipt.
She could not provide a receipt.
So she leaves the store. Has she committed a crime yet?
Well,
didn't she have to get
No, here's what they did.
All right,
there was
let's
a
hear it.
second lady. The second lady, they ended up taking the items from the cart, the smaller items, which were other electronics. They stole those and left the television behind.
Okay.
So they were able to get out. So that's why they're looking for her and this other person. They did steal stuff.
Man, I'm telling you, you pulled a Daedalus. You flew too close to the sun.
You were going
and your
too
wings
big.
fell apart. You should have stopped on those little items now. Uh-huh. Oh, my God.
So they're trying to find out who this lady is. If you have any clues, then they would like you to contact them to tell on your friend.
If you have any clues, contact Blue and let him know.
They say that if you would have bought the TV, $450.
Okay. Well, either A, maybe she didn't have the $450, or B, maybe she just wanted to see if she could get away with it.
No, she was stealing other stuff too, they said.
Oh,
So I think she just wanted stuff.
Yeah. I want stuff.
I know, but we're not supposed to act on that.
You don't just take it?
You don't just take it. And I know that's not the popular answer.
All right, Nikki.
We're not supposed to just go taking things.
All right. Sure.
If that's how it has to be.
The Riot has now been downloaded. Hope you installed some antivirus. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
So I'm reading this morning about Zelda Williams, who is the daughter of Robin Williams. He would have been 69 yesterday, and he committed suicide.
Yesterday was
It was his birthday.
His birthday.
And it was one of those things that after his death, a lot of things came out that people didn't really understand about him, that he dealt with anxiety and depression and a lot of different things. And he had a diagnosis that had come about. And, I don't know all the details. I'm not going to pretend I do. But I will say this, that when I read that, I just want you to know that I know there are lots of people that suffer silently. I know that there are maybe some of you don't. Some of you are open about the fact that you're anxious or depressed or what you're dealing with. And I just want you to know that it's not your fault. That's something for me. We talk about on the show that depression is something I deal with. I also deal with anxiety as a result of it. It's weird. And people, well-meaning people come along and just say the dumbest stuff to you. It's the dumbest stuff. You just want to hug them or smack them. I don't know, something, right?
Maybe a little of both.
Maybe both. I know they're well-meaning, but they're frustrating. So I know what that's like too. But you know what? I just want to give you a hug through the radio, and I want to say it's not your fault. Some of the feelings that you have, they just come and they go, and you have to fight that fight. And I'm sorry that life is hard for you. I'm sorry that sometimes it's hard to get out of bed. Sometimes you stay in bed. It can be hard to maintain your job. There are all these different things that are so hard. And a lot of people would never believe it. Some of the most cheerful people and some of the people with the best sense of humor, they have developed those things as coping mechanisms for the difficulty in their life. They've gotten strong against these things because they've had to fight. I just want to invite you to do the thing that I have done that has been so helpful, and that is having a relationship with God. Now, some Christians don't like the fact that I'll say that I am depressed even though I have a relationship with God. God was supposed to wave a wand and I was supposed to be perfect after I said a couple of words out loud, and that hasn't happened. But I will tell you what does happen is that every day when I get up, I don't have to face my day by myself. Every time those feelings come or those difficulties come, and sometimes they last more than a day, I never have to do that by myself. Jesus lives with me. His Holy Spirit lives in my heart and reminds me of the truth, even when there are lies telling me that I'm not good enough or I've done something wrong or whatever. Jesus is there to remind me that, I've been forgiven, that I am loved, that I am worth it. And I just want you to know that you don't have to face anything by yourself. God wants to help you right now where you are. And just say, Jesus, I want that. I want you in my life. I want you to fill me with your spirit, and I want your help dealing with this. I want to be healed. I want to be free, and I want you to just help me today. Man, every day Ask God for what it is that you need, whether you're depressed or not, because God wants to spend time with you. And no matter what you think makes you not good enough for a relationship with God, Jesus says, hey, I've taken care of all of that. I want to be your friend no matter what.
The whining, the loathing, the insightful commentary on postmodern historical doctrine. Okay, maybe not the last one. You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
You know, who among us has not thought about hiring a hitman to eliminate people in our lives that just, you know, you get a little tired of them?
Hey, hands raised on if you haven't. I think all of us are raising our hands. We normally don't think that way.
Oh, I'm the only one then.
No, because this person did, but
okay,
I think it's a much smaller group who go for this.
Just me and Wendy?
Maybe.
We were the only ones?
Is that her name?
Yeah, she's from Michigan. She got arrested last week. It's the dumbest thing ever. She went to rentahitman.com.
Which is supposed to be real, but I don't understand how.
No, it's real. The guy that runs that?
Yeah.
He just reports the people's information to the police.
So that's what he does. So it's not like an actual service.
So if you go to rentahitman.com and
you put your stuff in.
Sign up, you know, to see a meeting about like what would it take to, I don't know, eliminate a certain co-host that it irritates me and is always in flapping his gums and yelling his opinion, but he's been around long enough.
No, that I didn't, because they would have come after me then.
Okay. But you get what I'm saying.
So she's been charged with solicitation to commit murder and use a computer to commit a crime because she contacted the fake website rentahitman.com, and then they tipped off police, who sent in an undercover officer to go through it all so that then she could be arrested.
She was one of 130 people that have been arrested because of this website.
The website prevented, 130 cases like this.
What?
So she offered the police officer, the undercover police officer, $5,000 to murder her ex.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Hang on. What?
There's a picture of her, too.
Do you think you pay extra if they make it look like an accident?
I don't know how you do that.
I'm sorry, am I still
I don't want to know.
Like that scene in Grosse Pointe Blank where the guy was supposed to have a heart attack, but he ended up rolling over in his sleep, and so it didn't happen. And no.
She gave the undercover officer an upfront payment for travel expenses to murder the person who's not been named, who lives in a different state.
Yeah. It's probably an ex of some kind. That's usually where these things start. But yeah, just a heads up, if you're
it's her former husband.
You're better off going on like Craigslist or Reddit. That's a better place to make, those kind of connections. What are we doing? He said that others that he reported through this website have been for school shootings, baby abductions, things like that. So this not just like murdering an ex. That's not the only thing that people contact this website for. So you're telling me that like you rent a hitman, but it might not be to take out a hit. It might be for other things that you want done, problems that you want to go away.
Exactly. So people contact this website not knowing that he'll then in turn just turn their information into the police.
Well, this is destroying his whole business model.
The website says, got a problem that needs resolving? So they have field operatives. We can find a solution that's right for you. That's through the website.
And they have customer tutorials?
They have fake testimonies.
So Laura says, caught my husband cheating with the babysitter and resolved after a free public relations consultation. I'm single again and looking to mingle. Thanks, Guido.
The whole thing's fake. It's not real. So people fall for it.
They turn this over to
the police.
Wow.
And so she got caught.
This is the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Coke says that it's going to kill some zombies this week.
Never heard the term for this, but
me either.
Coca-Cola is saying that zombies is a term when you're a big company like Coke. They purchase other companies to like eat them up. and they still run them. But to them, they're called zombie companies because they never make enough.
Grow.
Yeah, they never grow. They don't make enough money. So they suck a lot out of Coca-Cola, and they're just something that has to go. And so they are currently going through some of their other companies that they own, and they are discontinuing them.
So, for example, what was our example?
Odwalla, I think that's how you say it. It's the juice. It's like it's a juice thing.
It's a juice brand.
It's a smoothie. That's the word I'm looking
Fruit
for.
Juice
Yeah. So if you get their smoothies at like grocery store or convenience, they bought them back in, I think, 2001, maybe 11, something. But they said that they just can't recover. People are not buying smoothies like they used to. If you go back a few years, they were super popular, and it's not anymore.
It's not funny, but there's something about the sentence. People just aren't buying smoothies like they used to.
They're not.
That's because they woke up and realized that $6 for something, and you're going to be starving in an hour, even though you've just consumed 1,000 calories in that smoothie. America is waking up, people.
Pretty much. You know what everybody else is still drinking? We're all still drinking energy drinks or things that have energy drinks in them. So smoothie stuff is not, it's not growing. So they call that a zombie brand.
I had a V8 energy drink this morning.
Did you get it for free or did you buy it?
It was a gift. I had someone give me like a 6-pack of them. They're like, hey, check these out. And you know what? It was good.
Okay, you liked it?
I'm sorry, back to zombie brands. It was just when you said that, it jumped out at me.
Sure.
So they're getting rid of Odwalla. Have you ever had a product?
Yeah, I've had a smoothie from them.
Have you?
Yeah, it is too much. It's a lot of calories.
Okay. All right. They don't, here's the thing that gets me. They don't list any other things they're eliminating.
Well, they said
if you work for Coke, I'm sorry.
They say that they've eliminated more than 275 products from zombie companies. So it might not just be just the smoothie company, but there's other things that they'll discontinue, and they're just going to be more free to end making a product if it's not doing well enough, fast enough.
This is why I can't get is why I can't get Left 4 Dead 3.
Is that it?
Coke's out there eliminating zombie products. And I'm out here just waiting.
So Coke has said the most notorious zombie for them was something called New Coke, which they had in 1985.
Oh, sure.
And it was April to July of 1985. That's when they canceled it. It was such a bad thing that it took less than 80 days for them to discontinue it.
Right. But didn't they re-release New Coke last year or something?
Not sure.
Didn't we try that?
Maybe.
We've eaten too much over the years.
We've had too many of these products. Yeah. So if you're a fan of something that is owned by a bigger company, just be aware that it might go away.
Yeah, it's very possible.
Where do you go when you need someone to listen to your problems and give you a big hug? Not here. Obviously, this is The Riot on RadioU.
I think I know what it is now. I think I figured it out.
What?
You're all jealous.
We're jealous.
Everyone's jealous. That's what it is. That's what it is.
The fat shaming thing on this monitor because you got a big monitor.
I get a big boned monitor and everybody's like, it's too fat.
It's a giant
big
monitor.
It's beautiful.
It is, but it's such a big monitor for the space.
So what?
So what?
Why do we care? Why is everyone like, it's too big? The only person that uses it is in love with it. But society is like, no, it's too fat.
Your
love is forbidden.
Oh, we got a new monitor.
Conform to natural style or popular styles of beauty and get back into 16:9.
The monitor is
21:9, Nikki.
Is large. It's very large compared to especially our other ones.
I like a monitor with meat on its bones. All right? What? I'm tired of everybody being like, hey, you know, it's got to be thin. It's got to be a toothpick with an orange on top. All right? I don't need that.
No, but it doesn't match the other monitors in the room. It's not in the same size category.
Oh, okay.
Is that it?
Maybe it should have its own store where it has to go shopping. Okay? Maybe we'll make it go other places where people understand it better.
Monitor?
Is it?
No, it's just, it's
Come
more
on,
like if
keep
someone
talking.
wanted to have a TV. It seems more like that, less like a monitor.
Oh, so what you're saying is that it's not like the other, so it doesn't belong. It's more like,
Listen,
so wouldn't you be happier with
we're
your
not gonna
own?
take it
wouldn't
from
you
you.
be happier with your own kind?
Oh my
Why don't you go be with your own kind?
Oh my gosh. Listen,
Okay.
we're not taking the monitor away. I think everybody here is not saying that. You can have it.
If I come in here tomorrow and this monitor's gone, I'm gone.
That's the stand.
People are like, I don't want to die on this hill. I found my hill, Nikki.
Found your hill.
I found it.
No one's going to take it away. It's just in the room. We're not used to it yet.
And I'm already used to it. I'm in love with it. And I am tired of this. Everybody that walks in this room, oh my gosh.
Right.
It's so big. You guys are the worst. Look, I have a big head. A big head.
It does make you look small.
See?
It really helps. It's very nice.
Finally, a piece of furniture that I sit next to that makes me look normal sized.
It does.
Finally. Okay? So everybody just relax. And Chris is like, we could put that other monitor right here.
Then you have
At
how
an
many
angle.
monitors?
Then you would have, because see, that's a touch monitor. We just set it right here by my right hand. And my right hand is over here touching things. My left hand is over here touching things. And I'm working in the future.
You're just going to work so much better.
Seriously, dude, you could put it right here.
No one will notice.
Nobody would even notice.
What do you need another one for, though?
Because we'll put Stinger on that.
Oh, you could.
And it would be, we just touch controlled right here, Stinger. The hotness.
It's going to like enclose you like a tomb.
No, bury me, Nikki. Bury me. What am I living for these days anyway?
Oh my gosh.
Bury me.
Dramatic much about this?
You know what? There it is. Could you repress your feelings a little more? Could you stop being so honest? I'd really appreciate it.
I don't know if you're being honest or if you're exaggerating. There's a difference.
I'm finally letting the truth out.
Oh, I think you've been holding this all
I'm in love. When a man loves a monitor.
I think he's being dramatic.
What are you talking about?
Why you just marry it?
Turn his back on his best friend if he puts her down.
The monitor's only been here for a few hours.
If she's
How
bad,
can it be your best friend?
He can't see it. She can do no wrong.
Proper planning prevents poor performance. Clearly, the riot didn't properly plan. This is the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Thank you, Aaron.
No,
He says,
for his text message.
Nikki, stop the oppression.
He said, guys, this is a good segment. Everybody seems to be enjoying the fact that you got a new monitor and you're loving it so much, and they don't want you to have it taken away.
And then, you know what? Now that I've taken a stance, Chris and I are working on, instead of just putting that monitor back in
Your
the
old
closet
one?
somewhere,
Sure.
we're going to put it over here. Look at how pretty it is. It's so nice.
You got a setup over there.
It's
good. It's not too much, is it? It's not overkill.
No, it's not. See, people are like, you don't watch. Okay, everybody, what do? You watch these stupid home improvement shows where people are like,
Why'd you say stupid?
Because they are. And they're like, hey, we spent $1.5 million on this pool. And everybody's like, well, that's nice. People can use it. They can have a party. All right. All I want to do is, for my job, I want to have enough monitor space to breathe. Yeah, you know what? It's a little luxurious.
But you deserve that every so often, right? You need that.
This luxury retailed for approximately $300.
So it's not too bad.
So, I mean, considering the service, the public service that I provide, all right? I mean, I'm not Larry Householder. It's not racketeering, all right? It's not bribery. It's just a monitor.
How do we know?
Follow the money. Big Monitor paid for all of this.
I want to know more.
The Ultra Wide Consortium absolutely sponsored today's show. Don't lie. Tell us the truth.
So you're welcome to text 877-2-RADIO-U or follow us and find us on our Facebook page, which is at Radio U Riot.
I need to take a picture right now so that everybody can see.
Oh, your monitor. You need to turn the other ones on.
You got to go way back to get them all in the picture.
Because it's so much. Where are you going to post it? Are you going to post it on your page?
I'll put it on the Radio U Facebook page.
Okay.
And you guys can see how great it is.
It's set up.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful.
Oh,
and Nikki, you know what? This is
a good
like
day.
This is the cake, and then your face right above the monitor is the icing on that cake.
You can still see me over all of it.
And I can certainly still hear you. So, I mean, the headphones take care of that. If we need to, we'll just put a camera over there, and I'll put an image of you on the monitor.
You'll need another screen for that to the side.
Yes, that's a great idea. A smaller one. I'll set it right here.
The Riot is well-versed on many different topics.
They're shy at first, but they're quite skilled at conversation.
This is The Riot on RadioU.
If you haven't had a good argument today, it's probably time. Just head online and get the day started.
Pick a topic and go at it. Have a fun time.
A favorite topic today is whether or not people should return to school, like the classroom.
They'll bring some arguments.
How about this? To the office. And in the middle of all of that, Nikki and I are looking at an article from CNN Travel in which they say that there are hotels, in their example is one in Los Angeles, where you go to work in a hotel room.
It's actually a fascinating idea. Hotels have been really hit hard since quarantine. So they have lots of rooms available. What do you do with the rooms? So some of them are being transitioned over into like a daytime office that you can go and rent out at the hotel if you're not allowed to go back into your office.
So again, the idea would be, and I'm looking at, they list a few different ones, like one in Washington, D.C., and I think you get from like 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., and some of them cost as much as $109 for the day. Others
That's
going
as
high as $275.
Well, does your employer pay for that or what? That's expensive. But it might not be an everyday thing then. But say you live with a bunch of people at your house and you can't get your work done. Where do you go when most places are still closed or your office isn't open or you can't go hang out at the coffee shop for hours and hours and hours? Where can you go do some work in a outside of your house place? They're saying that might be an option every so often.
Well, I will give them full-blown credit that these hotel rooms are beautiful, and I would love to go in there and work. And by work, I mean nap. On that couch.
Not work at all.
That couch and that terrace, great. I'm not getting a darn thing done.
I wonder if you could use like room service, or can you go to the pool, or is that stuff closed down, or what? Or is it not available if you're only using the hotel as like an office?
My guess would be it's not available. As a business model, you know, you could totally make this work, because think about it like this. So you have this room where they're not in the bed, they're not whatever. I don't know if they're allowed to use the entire room.
No, they say they're changing the room. So okay. I don't know if you walk in. I don't think it looks traditionally like a hotel room, because that's usually the biggest. So
there wouldn't be a bed in it.
Yeah, like the biggest focus is the bed. And so this would actually look more like a little office tell.
There's like a couch in there. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I don't know this, but my guess is that it would be easier to clean.
Yeah. And they'll clean it. They disinfect it and everything.
Yeah. So I love the idea, but as I was telling Nikki, isn't this just kind of an office? It's a place where you go and sit down and work, where they have Wi-Fi and a bathroom, and then eventually you just go back home.
But if you can't go to your actual office and you can't work at home, even though you might look into, like, there's tons of, like, we have one building down the end of this road. The whole building is full of these rooms that you just rent out for, like, daytime offices, like that's your space for a couple of hours. I wonder how those fared if they closed down during COVID or if they're back open, but those are way cheaper than this.
The thing I would say is that I kind of like something like this. I've got a laptop and a few monitors here in the studio, and I just work all over the place. Yeah. And I will tell you, I love that. I love not sitting in one place every day, day after day, doing my work. I would much rather go sit outside, go sit on a porch, sit in a coffee shop, just sit wherever and work.
So this $100 to above price tag, though, that's in like LA and DC and stuff. So I'm sure in different cities it'd be cheaper.
I don't even think I make $100 a day. So
just spend it on that. You're like, I'm losing money here.
I would have to put this room on a credit card that would eventually bury me. Perfect. Great.
But you'd be happy while napping.
Would I?
Why don't you just get a hotel room? It's just cheaper.
I know.
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media.
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
Through riot.radiou.com.
Wow, when you hear it, it sounds bad.